Boom, there we go. Welcome to our first October workout. It's going to be upper body and core today, so I've got a nice little session planned. All you're going to need is a resistance band, okay? If you haven't got a resistance band, you might want to just grab a dressing gown, belt or something with a little bit of length that you can use. We don't need it straight away anyway, just have it on your mat ready, and we'll get stuck in with our warm-up and brighten up this October morning. So you're either coming into a little jog on the spot or just up and down, heel to toe to your mats, depending on how much energy you've got first thing if you're joining live. Okay, so you're just warming up those legs a little bit, and then as you do that, I just want you to come into some wrist rolls. So working through the wrists, any direction, don't overthink it too much. Keep the legs going, and then you're going to bring the arms out to the side and keep the wrists going. Floating them up a little bit higher each time until you're gradually coming up overhead. Lovely. So once you have got those arms up, we're going to stay here. Keep going with this. Keep going. A couple more. For 2 and 1. Stop the feet, and we're going to come into some nice big windmill arms. Hips facing forwards for this one. So it's just the arms that are doing the moving. I look like a reverse peacock. Awesome. Amazing. I'll take it. And coming forwards. Oh, you've got to brighten up. It was a bit dark and miserable this morning, so I thought I'll go for a nice funky pair of leggings. That's what it was. So swinging those arms forwards. 2 and 1. Elbows coming out. We're going to come into these nice little torso twists. So keep your elbows nice and high. Work out any little clicks. Excuse me. 3, 2 and 1. Then you're bringing your hands up onto your elbows, and we're going to come into some shoulder rolls. So just coming forwards to start off with. Slightly awkward movement, bringing your hands up onto your elbows here. But as we go backwards, you might find it easier. So coming into your reverse rolls now. Wow, good. It's always a nice one to do first thing in the morning, this one, I feel. So loosen everything off. 2 and 1 on both sides. Lovely. Okay, we're just going to come into a few little squats. You don't have to come down deep for these ones. They're just really to just warm up the hinges. So you can literally come back a little way, and then you're coming up onto your toes. Or of course, if you want to squat down deeper, then you absolutely can. Just make sure that you come up onto your tiptoes, swing your arms back for balance. It's more to get a nice little calf stretch in here and loosen up hips and knees. Good. Okay, 3 more of these. 3 and 2 and 1, and then just shake it all out. And we're going to get stuck straight in. So make sure you've got some water, as always, and all you need is your resistance band. So it's upper body and core today. We're going to do the first segment, upper body, second segment, core, so it's not so much up and down. And the first one you're going to do is just folding your band in half. Legs, they can be as wide as you like, really. You want to go for some stability, so quite wide for this one. You're holding the band out at chest height, and then we're coming in just to some up, coming out to the side, up, out to the other side, and then back to your chest. So it's like a rainbow stretch. So overhead, hinge at the hips to one side, hinge at the hips to the other side, back to chest height. Someone else just joining us. Hey Rosie, nice to see you. Okay. So all you need is a rest band, Rosie, and then we'll get stuck straight in. So this is the first little set, more just a nice mobilization, this one. to let those shoulders know we're going to be working them out. So across, across, down to chest height. We're going to do 2 more of these. Across, across to chest. Final one. Up, across, across, back to chest, and then we're holding it here, and we're going to come into just a little cycle with our hands. A little cycle with our hands, but I want you really drawing your belly button back to your spine with this one, and keeping those shoulders relaxed away from your ears. So it's like our speedball, but we're not going overhead quite yet. Don't worry, that will come. For now, we're just coming out in front. Try and keep the core nice and stable, okay? Everything else, I don't mind if your arms will be wobbling. Everything else can wobble, but try and really squeeze that core. Keep going. For 4 and 3, 2 and 1, and come into a little shoulder roll. You might start to feel those shoulders warming up now. Band out in the front again. You can unhook, fold it in half if you've got a tight band. Okay, just at chest level, and we're coming into some little pulses. Again, really trying to squeeze that core. So belly button back to spine, a little bit of fire through the glutes, and we're pulsing. Keep those shoulders pulled down and away from your ears. Smile and enjoy the burn, because you get the burn pretty quickly on this one, right? So keep going. Your smile can turn into a little bit of a grimace if you need it to, but we're keeping on going. For 4 and 3, 2 and 1, and roll those shoulders. Nice mobility one coming up next. You're coming up and over, up and over. Now your stopping point might be up here, it might be back here, or you might feel that you can come all the way around. I don't mind which, just make sure that you're not pushing your hips forwards and arching your back. I want you staying up nice and tall. So none of this, okay? Stay nice and tall and just come back to wherever is your comfortable level. If you want to make it a little harder, you're going to add some more tension into your band, which is what I've just done. Wrap your hands around the end, and then you have to pull apart a little bit to get behind. Good. Oh, it's a nice one. Opening out that chest, squeezing those shoulder blades together as you pull back. Keep going. 3 and 2. Final one of these. Good stuff. Roll the shoulders through. Wind it around your hands a little bit more. This time you're coming up overhead and into your speedball. So I always go one foot in front of the other for this one. But as long as you're feeling stable, it's fine. This is really going to burn those shoulders now. Keep that core tight and go as fast as you can for this one, okay? Good. Go, 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 go. This will wake you up. If you weren't awake before, this will do it. Keep going. Oh, it's a burner. If it's really starting to get too much, you can bring your arms out in front a little bit more. Just keep them moving, okay? We're going to go for 5 and 4, 3 and 2 and 1, and roll them out, roll them out, roll them out. Wow, lovely. Okay, back in front. This time, I'm not going to pull my hand apart actually. This time we're coming into chest pulls. So you're pulling that band apart as far as you can, and it'll depend on how tight your resistance band is, right? If you're doing this with a little dressing gown rope or something, you should be able to just come into little pulls. Little pulls. You're not going to be able to come really big and wide. Good, keep going. Looking good. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. Don't know what I did there. Okay, couple more, few more, we can get a few more in. 4 and 3, 2, grit your teeth, and 1, and a couple more little shoulder rolls, just to ease it off. Good stuff, good stuff. Okay, grab a drink if you need to, okay? Should definitely be feeling this one now. We're back in front. and we're going to come into some lunges. So I folded my band in half just so I haven't got too much dangling down. You're going to come into a forwards lunge, overhead stretch, back to centre, coming up. Lunge, overhead, back to centre, coming back up. If forward lunges aren't good for you, you can try a reverse lunge. If that isn't good for you, try stepping out and bringing back in, stepping out and bringing back in. So have a little play around if you've got slightly dodgy knees. Otherwise, lunge, overhead, lunge, overhead. Remember, with your lunges, you're trying to come down. So not big step forwards. You're sinking your knee down as far as you can go. If you can touch the mat, brilliant. So keep going and really stretch up with that overhead stretch, trying to create a bit of space in your rib cage. Beautiful. 4, 3, 2, final one. Good stuff. Back to centre, out in front. You're going to come into a nice wide squat, toes out to the corner of the room. You don't have to come low. We're twisting, centre, twisting, or you're sinking. Twisting, centre, twisting. So you're staying there. Good. Whew. So if your knees are okay, push down as low as you can into that squat. Can you go a little bit lower? Otherwise, just stay quite high. Those muscles will still be firing up. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Walk those feet back in. Okay, how am I doing? We're doing good, we're doing good. I've got time for a little final set on the bands before we come down onto our floor. You're going to stand down underneath one edge of your band. It's going to come up the outside of your body. You're going to hook it behind your shoulder, and we're going to go for some tricep extensions. If you haven't got a band, you're going to grab a chair and you're going to do some tricep dips on the chair instead. Again, if you're using a band and you want to make it harder, I know you will do, wrap it around your hand a few times, get some extra tension. Big breath out, big exhale as you push up. Make sure it's coming behind your shoulder, okay? Ooh, good. You do have to grit your teeth for this one to get them done. Nobody likes their triceps. Keep it going, or working their triceps, I should say. 4 more on this side. 4, and 3, 2, and 1. If you're tricep dipping, come up completely. Have a little rest. Stretch your wrists out if you need to. If you're on the bands, just switching over. Opposite side. If you're tricep dipping, enjoy. Keep back to it. Let's go. Good. So again, just make sure if you're doing this one that your hips aren't jutting forwards as you push up. Go. Go. If you're doing the tricep dips, remember the further forwards you march your feet, the harder it is. So find your level and go for it. We're going for 5, 4, 3, grit those teeth, 2, final 1, lovely stuff. Roll through, grab a drink. We're going to come down onto the floor. You're still going to need your band, so bring your band down with you. I'm going to adjust you guys and bring you down here with me like this. Grab a drink, and then we're sitting down on our mat, so don't get all comfortable and start lying down, because we're not ready to lie down quite yet. We're going to come into a seated row. So sitting up nice and tall. Take a second to just really get your positioning. Try and move the squishy parts of your bottom back, right? So you're sitting up nice and tall. Then you're going to grab your bands, hook it behind your feet, and we're starting off with a row. Now, a couple of options for you. Again, wind your band around to get the right tension. If you've got a weaker core, I want you sitting up nice and tall, keeping your elbows into your torso, and it's just the arm work. Okay, if you're recovered and your core is fine, your lower back is fine, you're going to lean back. Still elbows are staying tight into our torso, but this will come more into your core now. So again, have a little play around, see what works for you, and then get rowing, rowing, rowing. Both ones though, I'm not doing this, I'm not zigzagging back and forth, I'm finding my position, and I'm staying there, and I'm letting the arms do the work. Good, 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 good. Don't forget, breathe, smile, keep going. Lovely. If you're going back, see if you can lean back a little bit more, get that core fired up. Perfect. We're going for 5 and 4, 3, 2 and 1. Sit yourself back up. You can use your arms and the band to help you. You're going to unhook your band. You're going to come down to lying flat on your mat now. So roll over onto your side if you need to. You're coming down, your legs are straightening out. Your arms are coming all the way back overhead. You're still holding that band. We're going to come into those leg raisers with the band up to meet us in the centre. Band up to meet us in the centre. I'm going to give you a couple of different options here, okay? So the first option is that we're just alternating our legs, shoulders are pinned down to the floor, and we're bringing that band to our midsection. Second option, keep doing this, but as you bring the band in, you're going to pull apart. Band in and pull apart. So you're starting to get a bit more resistance work there. Option number 3, you're going to lift your shoulders off the floor the whole time, even as the band comes back, either with or without that band extension. And option number, whatever option we're on, you're going to come into your double legs with pull and down. Much harder with the double legs, okay? So don't do the double legs if you've got any issues in your lower back. Just coming in and having a look at what everybody's up to. Good, lots of different options going on, which is what I like to see. So keeping with these. We've got 5 more. And 4, 3, last couple. And 1, lovely stuff. You're going to bend your knees, pop your feet flat on the floor. You're going to take your band and screw it up into a little ball. So you guys who do buggy fit with me will know this one. You're going to screw it up into a ball. You're going to place it in between your knees. So your knees and your inner thighs are having to squeeze together. I don't want you to drop that band. And then from here, we're going to come into a bridge, okay? So when you're ready, you're going to start rolling your hips up, but you've got to squeeze those thighs. You'll feel the squeeze coming into your glutes as soon as you start lifting. And you're going to come up and you're going to hold. It's a bit different than your normal glute bridge. It's coming more into your inner thighs. Also the pelvic floor is having to tense here to keep that band in place, and you're just going to hold. You're going to hold. You can have your arms relaxed down to the side or relaxed out like a scarecrow, nice and wide, and hold. Squeeze and hold. 3, 2, and 1. Roll that spine back down. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Okay, relax. Again, re-engage your core, belly button back to spine, squeeze your thighs, squeeze your knees, and when you're ready, lift. Don't need to tell you to squeeze your glutes because it will automatically happen. But once you're up, if you want to squeeze a little bit further, ooh, look at the tension coming into my voice, you can tell. Squeezing, hold. Good. Stay here. Whew. 3, 2, and 1. Roll it back down. Nice and slowly. We've got 1 more of these. When you're ready, tense your core, lift, squeeze and hold. Perfect. We're going for 5 and 4, 3 and 2 and 1. Rolling back down, don't drop that band. Lovely, lift your knees up to your chest, collect your band, pop it down to one side and you're rolling over onto your side. We're going to come into some side planks next. Again, lots of options for you, okay? So if you know what you're doing with your side plank, you can just go for it straight away. I'll run through the options. Just make sure that your elbow's underneath your shoulder, okay? Option number 1, you're lifting from your knees, hips up, holding for a moment, coming back down, resetting and off again. Option number 2 is that you're lifting from your knees and you're holding. Excuse me. And then option number 3 is that you're extending your legs. Just make sure your ankles are stacked, guys, and you're coming from straight legs. So 3 options for you to choose around. If you feel like you're getting really wobbly and you need to come back down, do that. Reset and then go again. If you want a final option, if you're quite confident in your side planks, you're going to bring an arm up and you're going to come into your threading the needle whilst you're holding up there. Good. 3, 2 and 1. Slowly come back down, come around onto all fours. From here you're either going into a plank. So again, if you know what you're doing with your plank, you can go for it. Otherwise, I'm going to run through your options. Wrists underneath your shoulders, toes are flexed. You can come into these short little planks, up and down, up and down. You can come into your hover planks, knees bent again, where you're just hovering. You can walk your hands forwards, drop your hips and come into a knee plank. Or if you're fully confident in your core, you can come into your full plank. Good. 4, 3, 2 and 1. Drop to your knees. Just come back into child's pose. There's a little release here. And then when you're ready, you're going to spin around onto the opposite side and back into those planks again. Whichever option works for you. Just make sure that if you're coming from your elbow, it's underneath your shoulder, okay, so that you've got the full support there. And then you're either lifting and holding or just coming up and down. Good. Stay here. If you get really, really wobbly, I'd much rather you came down, reset and lifted rather than just try to keep going. Much better to go for shorter periods with good form. Perfect. 4, 3, 2 and 1. Finishing up, final move back into our plank. So again, any of these variations. Okay, if you're not comfortable with flexed wrists, you can come up onto your fists as well. That's another option for you there. Okay, I'm going to go into a little hover plank this time. So just this one. If you're in a full plank, push your heels away from your body. Really tense the core. If it feels any pressure on your lower back, come down, go back up again. We're going for 5 and 4, 3 and 2 and 1. Come back down. Sit your bottom back down onto your heels. We're going to come into our stretches now. Excuse me. I know some of you that are joining live have to rush off. So if you are, just make sure that you get those stretches in, okay? Otherwise, we're all going to come into child's pose. Really try and walk those fingertips away so that you can stretch out your upper back and your shoulders. We worked with band. And then when you're ready, pushing back up onto all fours. Excuse me. Coming into your threading of the needle. So one arm is looping underneath your torso, shoulder comes down to the mat. Your bottom's quite high in the air for this. Again, you should feel this stretch through your shoulder blades. Hold it here. And when you're ready, pushing up onto the other side, looping that arm through, shoulder down to the mat. And hold. And then pushing back up onto all fours, turning around, coming around to sitting, however you're comfortable with. Let's give those arms a little stretch out. So rolling up the shoulders up towards your ears, then draw them down and back, bring the hands behind your body, link them through, chest comes out, and you're either holding them here or you're pulling away from your spine. Good. Hold it, hold it, hold it. A couple of nice deep breaths here. And then release, bring one arm over the top, and you're going to pull that hand down so that we can stretch out those triceps. After all those tricep dips and tricep extensions that we did, this one feels good. So you can either grab hold of your elbow or you can pull your hand down and away. Oh, lovely. Okay, switching sides. Same again. Sit up nice and tall still. Hold it here. Feel that lovely, lovely, lovely stretch. Oh, good stuff. Nice big shoulder roll. Okay, bring an arm out in front. Pin it into your chest again. Ooh, and then switch arms when you're ready. This little message. Doing good. Perfect. You're going to bring both arms down onto one side of your body. You're going to turn and face the opposite direction so that you get a lovely stretch down the front of your neck, down into your chest. Just hold it here. You can close your eyes if you're not being clambered upon. Oh. Okay, when you're ready, switching arms across to the opposite side, turning and facing the other direction. Really try and turn into it as much as you can so that you get that nice stretch. Lovely, back to centre. You're going to bring the soles of your feet together, drop your knees out to the side. You're either going to bring your elbows into the crooks of your knees and try and push apart by leaning forwards, or you can bring your arms underneath your legs and lean into it this way. Whichever one, again, feels nice for you. Just to ease off that lower back a little bit after some of that core work. Oh, feels good. 2 and 1. Sitting back up, final nice stretch. You're bringing an arm overhead, looping the other one underneath, so you're forming like a circle. So you should get the stretch all the way under here. Hold. You feel it coming down into your waist. And then when you're ready, switching sides. Perfect. Roll the shoulders through. No worries, see you soon. Roll the shoulders through. There you go. Okay, hopefully you're feeling a little bit looser, a little bit more mobile now, but feeling strong and powerful, like you've had a good workout. Good job, team. Who was that? This was somebody said. Perfect. No worries. Right, have a great rest of your day, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.